Stay in it, dude. All right, back at Stay In It podcast. We got Eric Danchanko here. Good to see you, man.
Good to see you.
Thanks for being here. Thanks for coming. We were recording on Zoom, and it wasn't working. And Eric thankfully came the way from Ebensburg down to the shed in Johnstown here. So thank you, man. I really appreciate it. like he literally said, I'll be down in 20 minutes. And boom, it was here. That was beautiful.
I love it. I love it. You know.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I told you, I grew up right over in Dale.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I ran this neighborhood as a kid.
Yeah.
Grew up all over the place. I mean, we rode bicycles till the tires were like bald.
That was a thing. We had little bike gangs in Wimber too.
Yeah.
Dude, it was awesome. I love playing outside. Like when the street lights came on, that's when we had to come home. Is it like that for you?
Yeah, except in the summer.
Yeah, except in
the summer. Had to be home by 11. It was like the curfew. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
We had to sneak in the house. Don't wake anybody up.
I had to do that. I snuck out of the house. Yeah, dude.
Truth be told,
yeah,
huh?
Amen. So, Eric, you're the owner-operator of High Street Body Shop Fitness Facility.
That's right.
Let's talk a little bit about that, man. Let's talk about a little bit about you.
So you came up for our spin class recently.
I did.
And I absolutely loved having you.
Oh yeah, he teaches spin class too. So if you ever are in the need for that, go please, because it's insane.
Yeah, we have a good time. Lots of rock and roll. Then there's a little bit of boy bands in there, played by others.
Yeah.
So we have a great time. Check out our class schedule, High Street Body Shop app. For all you guys watching this podcast,
that's
the High Street Body Shop app right in the App Store. Just type it in, comes up. All of our classes are listed there. Yeah. Check it out.
Can you get your membership in there too? Can you buy
you actually can. You can get your members. No, not on the app. No? Yes, you can. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah, you can.
Cool.
Yeah. Or you can just stop at the front desk. It literally takes 2 minutes. And you know, one thing I do want to mention about High Street Body Shop is, you know, a lot of gyms will commit you. A lot of gyms have hidden fees. A lot of gyms have credit card fees. You know, we're a one-stop, no bullshit fee. You know, we're $39 a month, but you get it all for that. You call me the day your membership's up and you want to cancel it, pause it. You know, we'll take care of it. I'm not there trying to retire on one gym membership. Right. You know, I want to provide.
Included?
What's that?
Are the classes included?
Yeah, everything. Everything's included. We do have tanning. Unlimited tanning is $20 a month.
Okay.
But everything else, 100% included. All of our classes, even the spin, for $39 a month, unlimited access, and no bullshit fees, no credit card fees, no joining. We have a $10 key fob fee. You can't beat it.
No, not at all.
I mean, for what we have,
it's 24/7.
Yeah.
24/7, and it's clean, and the aesthetic is nice. It's nice. It has a wood finish on the floor. I think that's like the best part about that gym. It's nice because obviously I like the wood, but yeah, man, I'm thankful that you came on because there's so many things we can talk about. There's so many things we're going to talk about, and but I think it's good that we're going to showcase a little bit of the gym because how important, especially people who are watching, like how important is fitness for mental health, for moving forward to accomplishing goals, even in the gym that transition into life. And getting to know you and seeing the things that you've done in the community and that gym and through your life, I think that's a testament of you too. Fitness has been a big part of your life. And when we were recording on Zoom, you were telling me about your dad taking you around to different gyms in Johnstown since you were a little kid. So it's been like your whole life, pretty much.
Yeah. My dad definitely got me into it, and I mean, the time I spent just working out as a kid, you know, messing around with weights in basements, and you know, you realize it's for mental health. The release of mental strain, the solitude that you have when you're in there lifting. You know, it's helped me through some rough times in my life, for sure, you know. So it's always been, I don't want to say my crutch, but it's been my point of release.
Yeah.
You know?
Amen. That's awesome. And now you're offering that place of release to many people in the Ebensburg and surrounding community.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And you're coming up on 3 years, right?
We're coming up on 3 years here, yeah, real shortly here in May. 3 years, and we've exceeded every membership goal that we possibly have. I said when I started this that, as long as it pays for itself, I don't care.
Yeah.
And now, I mean, we just keep reinvesting and reinvesting. And I want to show the people that come to my gym that's one of our number one goals, is we're going to continuously improve the quality of the gym. And we're going to continuously provide new equipment, whether it's bars, plates, equipment, whether it's bands, sandbags, rowers, skiers.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Whoever wants what, as long as we get a couple people asking for it, and I can make that investment, and it's a terrible business decision, Josh, but I'm not worried about spending that $500 and not getting the payback.
Yeah.
If I can keep those members and member retention there,
yeah,
that means a lot to me in making people happy.
Yeah.
I don't want to tell somebody that that just doesn't make financial sense.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to tell people that. I'm like, you know what? No, we're gonna get that $500 worth of equipment or whatever it might be, and we're gonna retain these people. And we're gonna give them a place to work out like they've never had before.
Since I've joined there, which was in I think February, March, or January.
January, yeah.
You've already had 2 big shipments of stuff come in. Like seriously, the deck downstairs, and then
the H-deck, yeah,
and then the 2.
Jacob's ladder.
The Jacob's ladder.
Yeah.
Okay, and then the press and the hack squat.
Oh yeah, the glute bridge.
Yeah, the glute bridge.
The bilateral leg press.
I like that. Those are sweet. I just used those on Friday. They're smooth, man. They're good, and my one client loved them on Friday.
Sweet.
So that was awesome. So you're 3 years, almost about 3 years into High Street. Can you tell us a little bit about like how that started and why that started, and like what fueled that fire to kind of build what you have now?
So I mean, you lift at different gyms, and you always pick up, whether I'm traveling and for work, and I lifted at Gold's Gym somewhere down in Harrisburg, or I lifted, I did a lot of competitive powerlifting as well.
Yeah.
And you see nice things. You see nice bars, you see nice plates, you see nice equipment, you see nice facilities. And then you come back home and you think, oh man, it'd be nice to have something nice here. I want to have the best bars, the best plates, the best benches, and the best facility like everybody else has in these faraway lands.
Yeah.
So that was part of it, and I wanted a really nice gym to work out in. And I wanted more of a community atmosphere. And that kind of comes from the YMCA.
Yeah.
I spent a lot of years in the YMCA.
Yeah, down here?
Yeah, down Jonestown.
Nice,
yeah.
Man.
Before all the renovations they had, when that was just, a weight room that was 50 years old.
Yeah.
You remember that?
I was there. I don't know when the reservations came.
Probably about probably 10 years now. Probably about 10 years.
I was in there, but I didn't lift in there. So I wouldn't remember, but
we just had some old school York plates and bars.
Wow.
Yeah, it was. I liked it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. You liked it.
So met a lot of good people there. Met a lot of good folks, and So that was kind of the story of like why I did it, what kind of took me into it, and I'm fighting a lot of personal mental anguish, that I deal with, from the death of my daughter, and. I just wanted a nice gym, a nice place that I could go to and just really work out, like how I want to work out.
Yeah.
And so I can go and just put it behind me.
Amen. You mentioned the death of your daughter, and we can get into that, and I'm sure that had hit you in a way that shifted a lot of things for you in your life. And put you maybe on a path of what the heck is this? Why is this? Maybe questioning a lot of things. And I'm sure if you go into the story, we'll learn a little bit more about that. But I'm sure there's been some certainly dark days after that. And maybe talking to you in the past couple of days, you had mentioned a lot of things that you had created from that, like Autumn's Angels,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like the donations that are created there, and like the run, the 5Ks and things like that. So would you mind talking a little bit about some of that
I guess
stuff?
I'll kind of start at the beginning of this, and not, and I always say I really want to write a book about it someday.
Let's do it.
I'm telling you, man.
Yeah.
I really there's so many inspiring things that, and let me start off by saying this: everybody's battling something.
Yeah.
Right? And I am not in any way saying what I battle on a daily basis is greater or less than anything else.
Yeah.
So, whether somebody's dealing with, drug, alcohol, death of a family member, everybody's carrying that baggage.
Yeah.
In one way or another, everybody's fighting something.
Amen, man.
And
I think that's really good to say too.
Yeah.
That's good to say because that makes you be more empathetic to others, but then it also shows that the power of a story is very important. And you don't know what someone else is carrying.
yeah, you see somebody in the gym, they got headphones on, and they're not saying a word.
Yeah.
Good chance they had a bad day.
Yeah. Right.
You know what I mean? Like, respect
Yeah.
people. Guy pulls out in front of you, you're in traffic, they got a little bit of road rage. You don't know what that guy's going through.
Exactly.
So don't be so quick to judge. We all battle stuff. You don't know what people are dealing with in life. But, my daughter was about, she was 2.5. And, it's not a secret, she was, her life was taken in the driveway of our home. And, a vehicle accident. And, she essentially passed away at the house. And,
How long ago was that?
this was 2011.
So 11 years.
Yeah, approximately 11 years ago. Yep, and I tell you, it feels as fresh as yesterday. Anybody that has lived through a tragic event, can understand that you will remember the weather that day. You will remember the temperature. You will remember everything you did on that day that you experienced that tragedy. You can relive it like it's close your eyes and you will see that day unfold a dozen times.
Yeah.
And I could tell you I was hunting that morning and it was snowing. I could tell you how many deer I saw.
Mm.
I could tell you I saw a fox on the way out of the woods. So that day is so vivid to me. And I used to think PTSD wasn't real.
Yeah.
Right? Like I'd say, what the hell's PTSD? It's some kind of bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
I tell you what, till you experience something, a true tragic event in your life, and that comes back and it intrusively enters your thought pattern every single day, over and over and over, and you understand the triggers that make those events and those things that happen that day stand out. Like the fire trucks that came to the house, the fire whistles, the colors, the sounds, the smells, everything about it. And unfortunately, I was the one at the house that was doing the CPR. And I wish, in hindsight, that I wouldn't have taken that upon myself to volunteer that, because that's some of the hardest memories that I deal with.
Yeah, I couldn't even imagine that.
And we've had this conversation before, Josh. That and I absolutely have so much love for anyone that has lost a parent. Mm-hmm. And I told you I didn't know how in the world I would deal with the death of my father, mother, or some very important people that are older than me in my life, And after my daughter passed, for me, I realized that's what I should be doing, is burying my elders, taking care of my elders. I'm not saying that it's right.
Yeah.
It's still tough to deal with. terribly. And I know your dad passed when you were young, when you were 18, you told me. And that's very, very tragic for a young man, especially the time when you need your dad, you know?
Yeah, man. Certainly, it's been a challenge.
Yeah. So, you know, I realized when she passed and I dealt with her that, you know, man, if she's looking down on me, it's a good day.
Yeah.
You know, and kind of reverse, like, you read so many things like, you know, parents should never have to bury their child, and there's a lot of songs that unfortunately I have found.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I used the Dave Matthews Gravedigger song.
Oh man.
I used to listen to that song over and over and over and over and over, because it really reached into me, you know, and it was heart-wrenching, you know, and I didn't know how to deal with it when that happened, you know. So, you know, I administered that CPR, and, you know, to hear her trying to breathe, and those are the sounds and sights that I will never ever forget. But I never heard her voice again. You know, personally, and you know, I'm just here telling my story, and maybe somebody will listen to this podcast, and maybe I'll help somebody that has gone through something, you know, and so I'll tell the worst of it, you know, and then I'll kind of come full circle here. But what I will say is, you know, right, wrong, or indifferent, I was very jealous of kids that passed away from cancer, because I wish I would have had that time to prepare.
Yeah.
I wish I could have said that last goodbye. I wish I could have said that last I love you. But at the same time, I'm sure those people that passed away of cancer, I'm sure they would say, boy, I wish that suffering would have never happened.
Right. Yeah.
You know, so it's man, it is a fight. You know, you see kids suffering, and you're like, man, I wish that kid wasn't suffering. But then I'm thinking of my situation, boom, well, she didn't suffer, supposedly, right? And I don't think there's a better way, but it eats me alive. You know, I think like that.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Sure.
You don't know how to mentally process all of it.
In that, I wouldn't know how to mentally process it either. But how did you try, or how did in those moments, in the days, in the weeks, in the months after? Obviously, your life changed so traumatically and so significantly. But for you, what changed for you mentally? What changed for you? What changed, and how did you try to? I don't know if it will ever make sense, but how did you keep moving forward? Because obviously you kept moving forward.
Yeah,
You kept
I
building.
sure did. You know, and I was brought up a pretty strong Catholic, and you know, Catholic faith, you know, it taught me a lot of good things, and you know, my dad would never let me miss a Sunday school unless I lied to him and told him there was spaghetti dinner and it was canceled, which I did several times because I hated going to Sunday school. But you know, I had a strong faith in God early in my life, and I got to give credit to my parents for that. You know, and you know, God bless all the kids that haven't had that upbringing.
Yeah.
You know, so one thing I will share is, you know, when my daughter did pass, you know, it was at the hospital when, you know, I guess you could say she flatlined. I felt that. I knew what had happened, and I had a feeling of relief. I had a feeling that she had left. I had a feeling that she went to be with God, and it was a comforting feeling. It was something, it's undescribable. undescribable, that feeling.
Yeah.
I was saying stuff, like my mouth was just, words were coming out, like, she's with God, she's seated with God, she's fine. She's in heaven and everything's fine. Like I was optimistic and I have no idea why. It just was like earth-shattering to me that I was saying this stuff. And looking back on it, man, I should have been on the floor just bawling like a baby, and I wasn't.
Yeah.
And
it sounds like a gift from God.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways.
Yeah, and the days to come were through the funeral and stuff were terrible. I mean, I had some ups and downs like you couldn't imagine. And, some days you didn't know how you were gonna, just mentally pull yourself through. I mean, I've never cried so hard in my life. There's no doubt about that. Anybody that thinks that they're, some kind of big tough guy, and, they want to call shots and, shit talk. I mean, you watch a child die, you see how tough you are. It'll humble you in ways that you can't fathom. You will look at everything in your life differently. Everything that was materialistic is all of a sudden, it's burnable.
Yeah.
You won't care. You'll watch your house burn down and roast a marshmallow. Like, you don't care about material.
Yeah.
You realize what's really important in life when something strikes you like that. And that for me, that's what it was. It was realizing what is valuable in life. And, my kids and, everybody in my life that is valuable. Everything material can just go away. Who cares?
Yeah.
They make houses every day. They make cars every day. They make brake pads every day. And when I hear somebody complaining about, oh, my tire's flat, it was the worst day of my life. And I'm thinking, worst day of your life?
Mm-hmm.
Really? It was the worst day of your life. You got a flat tire?
Right.
Oh, you needed to take your car in for service. It was a bad day.
Yeah.
And so I hear these trivial things, but you know what? God bless them.
Yeah.
They haven't had an experience in life that really changed their heart.
Yeah. That's it, right? It changes your heart. Because I can relate to that 100%. Like before the deaths and the tragedies in my life, I took a lot for granted. I took a lot for granted, and I took a lot of people for granted in my life. I just thought that they would always be there. Like it would just there would be a constant.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's not real. And learning that that's not real, or that's not the truth, was extremely hard. And for me, man, like I didn't face that truth for a long time. I ran into alcohol and fights and running stupid, and I got hit pretty bad with some humility that really showed me what I already knew. But it changed my heart on how I look with people and look at people and in moments, because it's like we aren't guaranteed tomorrow.
Amen.
We're not guaranteed the next 10 minutes, man. And it's like, if you start really thinking like that and being in it, present, in the moment, well, then you start to appreciate people more. Maybe you start to build things up a little bit better, because again, you're like Tim McGraw says, live like you're dying. That's all.
Right.
But it's like true though, right? And so then you can build better relationships, and then you can build better communities. And it's terrible, the tragedies that can befall us, but it's God works even in them. Even in the darkest things, the darkest, hardest things, where you want to give up. You want to stop the pain.
Oh God, yeah, the pain is terrible. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
And it is painful, And I'll tell you, and I told you before, I drank every drop of liquor in my house for that 2 weeks after she passed. Again, I was going to have a drink. Just going to have a drink every night. I drank.
Yeah.
But I was looking to numb myself because I didn't know how to process anything at that point in time, and I was probably in shock. For probably a good year, processing the fact that she was passed. Yeah, I hate to use the word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
It drives me nuts because in my belief is she will live forever.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
She will live forever.
Yeah.
And
you'll see her again.
Yeah. So very, very rare do I use the date she passed. Right? Like I'll say the date she born, 6/14/09. Right? I'll use that date all day long. But I don't like to talk about the date she passed because I believe she went to heaven. She transformed, right?
Yeah.
And I still have problems with that, and it's no secret. I go to therapy, once a week, couple times a month, whatever it might be.
Hey, no shame in that game, man.
And I talked to my therapist about this, and I'm like,
about this.
About the podcast, too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I thought I was going.
Oh,
She's like, if you're comfortable with it,
that's good.
Yeah. So,
cool.
Yeah. So, talking about life or saying that someone is dead, and I have a real problem with that,
Yeah.
because, we're going to heaven, right? Do we really die? I don't think so, man. I don't think so. I think we're transforming.
Go.
Yeah. Seriously.
Yes.
Seriously.
Yes. That, like, I know on Saturday we talked a little bit about that. And I was telling you about Gladiator, and you have to watch it.
Yes,
Yeah. He says you'll meet them again, but not yet. And dude, like that, even what you're saying right there, like I have chills on that because it like gives me hope for the own people that have passed in my life. And it's like, yeah. And if you can hold on to that thought, like really hold on to that thought, especially on those hard days, when for me, a lot of the hard days that I have are like the birthdays, or like Christmas, Thanksgivings, the holidays, the times that they should be there, and it's like, they're waiting for us as we progress in life here, and I realized, in that and like learning that you can't stay in the darkness because they're not here. I had this like saying God first, but for them. And the things that I try to do in my life, I put God first, but I'm living for them, for those that I lost, for the people that are gone, but we'll see them again. And it gives me like this energy and this smile, man. Because it's like, well, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna stay hidden and not give the world your gifts? Or are you gonna be like, okay, this happened, it sucked terribly, and I will always have that like pain, but I'm gonna use that pain to put it into like a powerful purpose and maybe help others along the way. And it's like, I can certainly see that happening at High Street. And that's one of the biggest reasons why I wanted to talk with you, man, because like, you could have had all the opportunities to say goodbye. And not just say goodbye to like your life, take your life, but like you could have shut off from the world. You could have shut off from your family. You could have shut off. You could have just kept those 2 weeks. You could have prolonged those 2 weeks to 10 years. You know what I'm saying?
Amen.
And it's like, dude, like that in itself is awesome and amazing. And then turning it back and putting that into, I call it the other day, the community center that High Street is. Like, that's what I see it, man. I see so many different people walking in and out of that place. I've never experienced a place with so many different classes, different types of material, like things to work out in. There's a freaking basketball hoop in there.
That's right.
And you do things in the community.
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
Let's talk about that.
Sure.
Like Autumn's Angels, though.
Shortly after she passed, people gave monetary gifts, to us in memory of her. We had substantial gifts and in her memory. And we did get a bench dedication at the Pittsburgh Zoo.
Oh, wow.
And it has a little plaque right outside of the PPG aquarium. Right before you walk in on the top level, look, there's a bench there. It's dedicated. It's supposed to be there forever.
Wow.
But,
That's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a secret. I mean, it was a donation of like $10,000.
Wow.
Yeah. So, we did that in her memory, and we had a lot of funds left. So, talking with the local Ebensburg Youth League, there was a field, no playground. So, the playground, it was around $40,000, and we donated that money. Couldn't do anything with it, right? And we did have a a basket raffle on top of that paid for a lot of the surrounding mulch and excavation and some things like that.
Where's this at?
It's called the Lions Field in Ebensburg. It's right by Festival Beverage, right across the street.
Oh yeah, okay, I do know where it's at.
Yeah, there's a little ice cream stand there now. But it's planning building a playground. It's not as simple as you think. It was quite the endeavor. But picking out equipment, selecting equipment, finding a reputable manufacturer where you're going to have equipment last for 20 plus years. Because everything has a lifespan, right? All material.
Well, it's kind of really cool about that too is someone's little girl or little boy is playing on that.
Yeah, it is pretty cool, and watching all the kids play on it, it's very rewarding, very rewarding.
Yeah,
and that felt good to do. And we did help with the regional inclusive playground. I personally made a lot of donations to that. I know I took my backhoe up there and put in a bunch of drainage on the weekends.
Nice,
And so I did a lot of work at that playground up there as well. Tried to help. Actually, I did all the plans for it for the township.
That's great.
Yeah. So I had some help with some other guys. But yeah, we did a lot for that playground as well, and I'm definitely not looking for recognition or anything.
No.
It's just.
But it's a good thing to show, how something so terrible can still build life and build things into the community and affect many people because people bring their kids there, man. That's a good outlet for people to use. And
so Autumn's Angels Fund is a fund underneath the Community Foundation for the Alleghenies. Of course you can make a donation to it, and all those funds are very controlled, how they're allocated, who they're giving them to. So it's which I like. I love that.
Yeah.
Because if you make a donation, you get a receipt, and it can only go to other nonprofits or it's completely signed off on by a dozen board members. So it's very controlled.
that's good.
So that it's going to the right place. But we donated 2 benches out of Autumn's Angels Fund to the borough of Ebensburg, one in memory of my daughter and one in memory of Lainey Eisenberg.
Yeah.
So those are right outside the front of the gym,
That's
and
awesome.
we donate. We have so many fundraisers, I can't keep track of them.
Yeah, I was honestly amazed when you had told me you told me the number of the money that you had raised through all these different. I was blown away, man.
Yeah. And I tell you what, a lot of that is the trainers and our staff at the gym. I wish I could give every one of them a personal shout out and a big hug because seriously, they are freaking awesome.
Yes,
they are. I can't say enough positive about all the people that are instructing and are training at the gym. We got some great people that want to do great things.
Yeah.
And their hearts are in it. And if we have a member that is battling cancer fundraiser, we have I gotta say something about the cancer fundraisers.
Yeah.
That really strikes home. I mean, when you do a cancer fundraiser for somebody and they pass away a few months later, I tell you what, man, it's like getting smashed in the face with a baseball bat, because, I mean, it hits home.
Yeah.
It hits home, man. It's like you're so grateful that you have the opportunity to do something good for that family and show them that you really loved and cared about them. But at the same time, you see those same people that did that, I mean, your heart just bleeds for them. And you know, you want to do more, you want to do more, and you want to do more. And you wish you had more time and more money in the day, and you could stretch it out and do more things. And maybe God will put me in that direction at some point in my life. But it feels great to give back to the local community. And I think we have truly done giving back to the local community. And once again, thanks to our awesome instructors and trainers at the gym. I mean, you can't say, I can't say enough about them. They take these events and they just run with them.
Oh, I see it, man. I'm in the group chat. I see all that.
It's crazy, right?
Yes, it's honestly amazing, and it's like, it shows you though, like it shows you what is being built there, not only in the four walls of that gym, but in the hearts of the people that go there, man. And like, that's the cool part too.
Yeah.
Because they're taking pieces of your gym home with them, in a sense, and like they're impacting their families. And it's like, well, I was telling you the other day, like I was speaking at Central Cambria, and I'm like, who here goes to High Street Gym? And there was 5 or 6 hands in every single presentation I did, and that was 13 presentations that day. And I'm just like, dude, let's go.
Yeah.
Like let's go. And like that to me is so cool, because we go back to, you know, working out as mental health. And it's like, it's mental health, but now you're also offering community. And because we're social beings, and we need to interact, we need to grow, we need to bounce ideas, we need to help each other when people fall. And it's like, that's what is happening here, man. Like, it's so freaking cool. It's so cool. And it's, you know, the impact that you're having, you might not even realize, you know, you might not even realize. Because, again, how many times did you didn't want to wake up that day, but you went to the gym and you got it in and you worked your butt off or whatever you did, or you PR'd or did that, and it pulled you through to the next day. I could say thousands of times for me for that. And it's like, man, if you can do that at a gym that has awesome owners, great trainers, great instructors, good people that go there, man, what's the value of that? You know, it's invaluable.
It's pretty cool, right?
It's very cool.
Yeah.
It's very cool.
Yeah, to date, we've got to be, I believe we're over $24,000 in the 3 years that we've been open, that we've given out.
In donations?
24,000, yeah.
Jeez, man.
And again, thanks. I mean, I'm not taking credit for that number.
Yeah.
And that's our instructors and trainers and everybody involved at the gym that's making that possible. Yeah, that's not me. I mean, that's the people.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Yeah, you know, I am not. It's the people's gym. You know what I mean? It's not me, man.
Yeah.
I'm thankful to have built it for them.
Yeah.
And you know,
it's awesome.
and you know, I'm glad they're taking off with it, because you know, that was the thing. Like, I'm going to provide it, and it's theirs. It's really not mine, because you know, how powerful is a gym if you don't have the people, right?
Yeah, it's nothing. It's nothing.
Man, it's an empty building, right?
Yeah.
It's theirs.
Yes.
So yeah, it's up to them and their desires, their needs, whatever they want for the facility.
It's awesome.
So I'm very happy with the direction it's going.
Now, to kind of circle back to the tragedy a little bit that you were going through, how would you encourage other people who might experience something similar or something tragic that reroutes their life? Like, what would you tell somebody?
Yeah, that's I'm gonna give a long-winded answer for that.
That's great, man.
I could tell you, you know, it really initially it feels like it is the end of an era. It feels like there's something that you cannot overcome in the beginning. The beginning is so dark. And you question, like, how the hell am I going to... Hey, look, some days you don't want to live.
Yeah.
I mean, it's terrible.
Yeah.
Keep yourself busy, right? Keep yourself busy. And if you're not a religious person, you better learn how to pray. And I hate to say that, but it's true. It's true, man. I wore a rosary, and I prayed the rosary over and over and over and over, and it broke. Fucking lost it. And it was very sentimental to me, and I honestly don't even know where it went, but I lost that rosary. It kind of broke my heart.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
I lost it traveling somewhere in Harrisburg, to be honest with you, and I don't know where.
Hopefully someone found it.
Yeah, that's right.
And they're
That's
using
right.
it. And they're using it, right?
Yes. And I have to mention that you will be just showered with words of encouragement that will get old.
Yeah.
You know, she wouldn't want you to be sad. You know, be thankful for the time that you had. You know, there's so many sayings that people are going to say, and they are going to grow old with you.
Yeah.
You know, to the point where they're going to hurt to hear them. You know, yeah, I know she doesn't want me to be sad, but you know what? And it's okay to be sad.
It's okay to be
sad.
sad.
It's okay to be upset. You know, but to take that sadness and that energy and to funnel that into something positive, you gotta find optimism somewhere. Like I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not saying it's easy. So for me, right after everything went down, I had a hard time lifting, right? So I got into running. Yeah. And I'm like, well, I can just run and run and run and run, right? So, you know, 2 miles went to 4 miles, 4 miles went to 8 miles, 8 miles went to 20 miles. And, you know, and I'd be going for like 6 hours. And my wife I'd you know, get home and she'd be like, where have you been? And I'm like, well, I'd say I broke down. Like, yeah, my knee started hurting. I had to walk back from, you know, so we're out in Ebensburg and like, you know, I'm like 10 miles away. And like, you know, I get this IT band issue, so I hobble home. I'm hitchhiking. Neighbors picking me up.
No.
Oh yeah, it's crazy. I got all kinds of crazy running stories. Oh yeah.
You do need to make a book, man.
It's yeah. So you know, I end up. You know, I tried to run to Johnstown a couple times. I never made it. Yeah, I always broke down. Yeah, you know, something happened with the knee, the ankle, like something like, I'm like, well, I'm just gonna run to my parents' house, you know, down in Dale.
Yeah.
I'll see you there.
Yeah, that's funny.
And so I did ride my bike a couple times.
Wow.
Yeah, but I couldn't make it jog, and I broke down. Where did I break down? Somewhere in my Portage, and I couldn't make it any further. But anyway, what I'm getting at is, you know, to keep yourself busy with an activity. I truly believe, and I am not any type of therapist, but I've been to too many of them. And one thing they will tell you, exercise lowers your stress, lowers your blood pressure. And that seems to be very consistent amongst the therapy world.
Yeah.
So, you know, exercise, fitness, you know, it's very important. No matter what it is, get your ass somewhere, walk outside, ride a bike, come to my gym, talk to me. I'll engineer. Yeah. And, you know, try to keep yourself busy and try to be positive. You know, I'm not saying it's easy. Yeah. Man, it's not easy. But the days after that, and trying to stay on that righteous path and doing things in your loved one's memory is how I got through it personally. I keep saying it's not easy, and it's to this day to this day, I have that butterfly feeling in my stomach, you know? And it's something that I wouldn't want to happen to my worst enemy. And I can't say I have a worst enemy, but if there was someone I really didn't like, I wouldn't even want this to happen to them.
Yeah.
Because it sucks, man.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It freaking sucks. And, you know, don't play the part of, you know, woe is me. You know, suck it up. Be strong. Be strong. Yeah. You know, you got to be strong. And there are people, I don't care who you are or how many relatives you have, there are people in everyone's life that loves them.
Yeah.
There are people that care about you, no matter what someone thinks. You know, and you've got to live this life to get to the afterlife, right? You got to live this life righteously. If you've ever wanted to see that person again,
yeah, right,
you better do some right things.
Yeah.
And I believe in
That's a
that.
good point.
You know, that you, if you're going to get up there and you're going to see them, you got to do some right. And you will do wrong too. We're all sinners.
Right.
You know, we all make mistakes in this world.
Yeah. So asking for forgiveness and humbling yourself, you got to keep going forward, man. You got to.
Yeah.
You know, that you made a good point there. You got to get righteous to see them again. That hit me when you just said that, because after all those people who passed away from my life, and I just was like beat down again. I went down the wrong path because I was like angry, mad, sad, didn't want to deal with any of it. But you're living like that, you might not see them again. You know, you might not see them again, and it's not easy. It's not easy.
Yeah.
It's not easy walking that righteous path, man.
I believe that path is narrow.
Oh, it is said it is narrow. It is said it is narrow. Yes. And I mentioned to you the other day. You know, it's not easy. And you were saying how there's people that love you. Well, there's people in the world that walk that righteous path, and if they see you and they sharpen you. And it's Proverbs 27:17, as iron sharpens iron, so too one man sharpens another. Or so too one woman sharpens another. But it's true, man. And if you're walking in that darkness, but you're looking for the light, and you keep going, you might fall, which we will fall.
Oh, yeah.
But it's good to have friends who are like, come on, brother. Or like, come on, brother.
That's right.
You know? And then you do it to someone else later on, too. And it's like, it's a team. And, you know, you said this at the beginning, you know, everyone has something that they're dealing with, and that they're carrying. And if we adopt that mentality, if we really adopt that mentality, then instead of the turning the other cheek or judging, maybe the hands turn to this, and we're pulling people through, and we are pushing them forward. It's a lot of humility in this, man.
There is. And you know, there is help out there. And I can't say that everybody finds the right therapist on the first shot. I can't say everybody finds the right help the first time. What I would say is talk to people that have lived through some shit.
Yeah.
You know, and see who they went to and who they got to. I had a really, really hard time getting help for PTSD. You know, I had a really, really bad struggle. I don't want to admit it.
Yeah.
You know, because the reoccurrence was too frequent.
Yeah.
The intrusive thoughts happened too much. And you get stuck in those negative thoughts that just plague you.
Yeah.
For me, it was seeing the color pink. It was hearing a fire whistle. If I see blood, to this day, I have such a hard time killing a deer. I told you this. I will let many, many a deer pass before I find the right one.
Yeah.
But to see anything die in this world now is really difficult for me. It really strikes a nerve somewhere, and I've talked to, a lot of different people, like, why do I have problems with this? And I'm like, well, your brain's wired differently, and you process this differently, and you have to do what's comfortable for you. And if something's not comfortable for you, don't make yourself do things you essentially don't want to do. Like, don't take that mental boundary and try to extend it, because if that's something that's making you go to a dark place, or making you have bad thoughts, or you're going places you don't want to be, don't do it. And that stuck with me with my therapist. It was like, you know what, some of these things, she's right. So I go out hunting someday, I know I'm not going to kill a deer that day I go out. Like, it's all right. Unless it's like some kind of giant
right? Right, yeah.
So I used to be an unbelievable meat hunter, and now it's like, I don't kill though just to eat meat anymore, because I have a really hard time with it. So I guess, one of the things, the point I'm trying to get to here is, for people that this does happen to, if something's really uncomfortable for you, if you're struggling, let's say, it was a tragic event, and, let's say it's automobile related, and, you have trouble with certain aspects of it, don't push yourself into that area where you're having all these negative thoughts. Stay away from it. It's okay.
Yeah. Lean on the people that you can lean on.
Yeah, and I was doing a lot of that. I would push myself, and then I'm stuck with those intrusive thoughts all day long.
You're just battling in your mind.
Yeah, like, oh, I could deal with this, I could deal with that. It's not. Word of advice. Anyone, to stay positive. If you don't know how to pray, you better learn, and it's not hard. Pick up a Bible, read a couple verses. I'm not saying I'm a perfect Christian, but I pray with a lot of people, and I could say a prayer, and I'm not saying that I'm not a sinner, and I'm not saying I'm perfect, but I definitely talk to God a lot.
Yeah.
I'm very open about it.
That's good.
And, stay on that righteous path, like we mentioned, and find strength in positive people around you. Yeah. It's tough. It is really freaking tough.
And another question for you. How would you encourage others? But how do you personally? I know you said stay positive, find these positive people. How do you personally stay in it? Like, stay in the path of what you're trying to create in the present here. Acknowledging the future, or building the future, and acknowledging the past. It's being here now. Like, how do you stay in it?
For me, I focus on my kids. My kids bring me a lot of joy. And my oldest will tell you that I'm very partial to my daughter.
Yeah.
Let's hope
my sister's name.
Yeah, let's hope that he doesn't watch this podcast, because I am partial to my daughter, and he better be too. He better take care. You better take care of your sister, damn it.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right. You better take care of that little girl. And I don't know. I got a soft spot for her. But yeah, working out. Relieving that mental stress is huge. Oh my gosh, yeah.
I gotta say this though, I do have to say this, like, you surprised the heck out of me, man.
Did I?
Oh, 100%. Not saying, like, you kill it. Like, you legitimately kill it. I try to beat you, but I can't. Like, it's so crazy to me. And it's amazing, man. It's amazing. So please, like, again, shouting out to the spin classes.
Yeah.
Like, for real.
There is no other, there's no other spin studio like that, even remotely close to here, with the technology that we have.
Yeah, it's really cool.
The good competitiveness is cool.
And the thing that I thought that was really neat is the team thing. like you put on teams and you go as fast as you go.
Yeah.
That's fun, man.
That's right. That's right.
That's cool.
Yeah, one last thing I want to say, Josh, is, try to find positive people.
Yeah.
People that make you smile. People that make you laugh. And stay around them, and of course family's a given. Working out, screaming, stay in it during spin class.
It makes me smile, man. It makes me go faster. It's awesome. It's so good.
Another big one that I didn't even mention here: outdoor activities.
Yeah, getting outside.
Yeah, I do a lot of fishing, a lot of kayaking. I spend a lot of time on the Juliana River.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
that's cool, man.
Especially in the summer and stuff.
Nice.
Yeah.
Me and my grandpa used to fish that all the time.
Did you really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we got it.
Yeah, dude, that'd be awesome.
Date.
Yeah, let's go. That'd be
We
cool.
do overnight trips.
Yeah, for real?
Oh, yeah. Sleep in hammocks and everything.
Get out of here.
Oh, yeah.
That's right up my alley, man.
Oh, we eat the fish we catch?
No way.
Oh, yeah.
Right up my alley, man.
Primitive.
Yes. That's so good.
So that is how I stay in it, man. And positive thinking, and I like to think
Giving.
Oh yeah.
Let's say giving.
Yeah, that's a great point. That's a great point.
Yeah.
Like I mentioned earlier, you just don't care about material, and my wife is so mad at me for just like giving people the benefit of the doubt. Oh, you forgot your credit card. Oh, just pay us next time.
Yeah.
Because I just don't care, right? Like, it's like, it's monetary. It's, you get me next time. A month later, I still didn't get that card in the mail, And I'm like, just come in. You need to work out because,
yeah.
You know what I mean? And I know people are struggling.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And,
people are. Yeah.
And I feel terrible, and I want people to come in. I've been at the front desk of a gym before and didn't have payment as a college kid. I'll never forget it. And I couldn't go in to work out. And I'm like, I wanted that workout so damn bad.
No
and I
way.
literally just didn't have the money. Yeah, I was hoping to, get in and my membership was up. And it's like, I don't know, man. I got a soft spot for that kind of stuff.
That's good, man.
I want people to work out. It does something to you mentally. And, it's good for you.
Dude, 100%. It saved my life so many times. Like, so many times where I couldn't afford to have a therapist. So I could afford a gym membership, though.
Yeah.
100%, man. Yeah, EHR. You said you saw me there, I guess.
I did.
Yeah.
I saw you there in the EHR bunch, yeah.
Dude, there was a time when I was there 7 hours a day. Like, I wouldn't leave. I put in shifts there because I didn't want to leave. It was such a good environment. Like, there was so many good people there. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and that's cool. Like, I talked to Trevor. I see Trevor Rumble at your gym all day. I'm like, dude, you're living it. Like, you're in that. Like, that's so good,
He does way too much.
Yeah, he's coming on here too.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
no.
Yeah.
Oh,
2 Sundays from now. We
Nice.
just talked this morning. Yeah, that's cool.
Oh, he's a great talker.
Oh yeah, he's in it too.
He is.
It's pretty cool, man. It's pretty cool. And even in that, like that gym, you're giving the opportunity for trainers to grow.
Yeah.
Like,
I could. I wanted to. Can I say something about that?
Of course.
So, I want my trainers to succeed in life. And I wish I could pay healthcare and benefits and retirement.
Yeah.
I hope that I'm just not there yet. I hope something miraculously happens and I could do that in the future somehow, some way. But, how can I let these young guys thrive?
Yeah.
And give them something that is sustainable, right? So, I don't take a nickel from them.
Yeah, I know.
I don't take a nickel. I come in, I ask, hey, you give us some positive PR, and you can train here for free. I don't take a nickel. I want you to flourish at what you're doing.
Yeah. And that's amazing, man.
Yeah, and I get a lot of positive feedback from that, and I will say I don't let just anyone come train at my gym.
Mm-hmm.
That ain't happening. But the people that I have, I want them to flourish and have the chance to make some money.
Yeah.
You know, if I'm in their pockets, right? If I'm digging in their pockets, how are they going to succeed?
Yeah.
If I'm taking 20, 30, 40, some gyms 50%, I mean, they're busting their ass and writing plans, diet plans, you know, and I'm taking half of what they make.
Yeah.
So yeah, I asked that, it's not a secret, you know, I asked that their people have a membership, anyone to train somebody, and they keep anything from the client, you know, it's like a third party, and I want that because I want them to succeed.
Yeah, it's amazing, man.
You know, I don't know, and of course, you know, a lot of people ridicule me for that business decision, but I don't know,
I think it though, in the sense of like, so you have, say you have happy trainers though, then you have happy people who are coming to your gym because the trainers are happy.
Yeah,
and they're gonna
that's
like,
right.
you know, that's gonna go on to them. It's like a give more than you receive thing again, man. And
Yeah.
and it will only come back. It will only benefit. It will only grow. You know, like grow the heart. It's such a
Right.
good thing, dude. For real. Like, you know, I see that out there with all those everyone. It's so cool, man.
Yeah,
It's so cool.
yeah. One thing I really want to do is, you know, some youth classes, and I really want to incorporate, you know, some simple life discipline lessons.
Yes.
So it's not just a class of, you know, here's some strength training, here's some agility, here's some plyometrics, you know, here's speed, you know. No, let's learn about discipline, taking pride in what you do, and let's learn a little bit about God, and some real basic stuff. You know what I mean? Like, you know, keep your head high.
100%.
There's going to be winners, there's going to be losers.
Yeah.
You keep your head high, you respect authority.
Yeah.
You know, some really basic life lessons for kids that they can take with them. I know as a young man, you know, I went to some different karate instructors, and that's where I learned that kind of stuff as a kid, right? And there are still some great martial arts studios around the area. And, you know, we're affiliated kind of sort of, you know, with Cambria Martial Arts.
Oh, cool.
And they do some of their guys come up, you know.
I think I've seen some guys there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, you know, I know some of their programs are fantastic for youth, but, I mean, you just can't have enough positive in the young people. You know, we got to bring them up right.
Yeah.
And that's something that really needs harnessed. I think in the Ebensburg area, just so many kids that need the simple discipline, pride in what they do, the focus. I don't know.
You do know. I hear it. You do know.
Yeah.
I think that's a really good idea.
Yeah.
And if I can help in any way, man.
Yeah. Oh, you got that class.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're going to sign up.
I would love it.
Okay.
I would love it.
This summer.
Okay. I'll
All
be
right.
here.
Okay.
Amen. Is there anything else you'd like the people to know, man? Any final thoughts?
You know, I'm going to say, you know, dealing with tragedy in life is life changing. You know, try to angle that into a positive perspective. You know, and you will get criticism. You will have haters. You will have people that say bad things about you, no matter what you do in life. You know, stay focused, stay positive. I'm always here, and I always tell people to come to my gym. My time's free. Schedule time with me. My time's free. I will show you whatever you want to know in my gym. You want to talk personal. I always say that to everybody that comes in.
What's the address?
128 West High Street.
128 West High Street.
You can't.
Ebensburg, PA.
Yes.
15930?
31.
31. Okay.
That's right.
31.
That's right.
All right.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Man.
So High Street Body Shop app in the App Store, High Street Body Shop website, our Facebook page, High Street Body Shop is probably the best. Check us out on Facebook, High Street Body Shop. Yeah, I think we're truly there for the people.
Yep.
And check us out.
Thanks for coming on, man.
Thank you, Josh.
Stay in it.
You got it.
Thank you, guys.